Hey everybody, this is Jake Theobald. I'm the Digital Product Analyst for Anatomy and Physiology here at McGraw-Hill Publishing. I wanted to just create a little tip video for you that'll help you when you're trying to install the Anatomy and Physiology Revealed iPad app onto your iPads at home. So the steps are pretty simple, and actually we already have laid out in a document the idea that you need to first install an application called Junos Pulse onto your iPad, and for the purposes of this video I've already done that. Now just so you know, Junos Pulse is just an application that we use in order to get your iPad onto the corporate internet. You will only use that application if you're trying to install the Anatomy and Physiology Revealed app from home. And so in this case I am home, I'm getting ready to do that. So the first tip that I wanted to give you when you're getting ready to install the APR app onto your iPad from home is I want you to plug in the power into your iPad, and the reason that I want you to do that is that the process of installing the app takes a fair amount of time. So now the next thing to do is just sort of to log into your iPad, and I've done that very quickly there. Then the first thing that you really want to do, you need to get on the corporate internet right off the bat. So you want to launch the Junos Pulse application, which in my case happens to be right there. So I'll click that, and you'll see there's a little user interface here. And in the user interface, I've already followed the instructions on installing Junos Pulse, so I already have MHA RAS already installed. That's all in a document that's linked on the website that is set up to help you install the app. But at any rate, what I want to do is connect to the McGraw-Hill intranet. And so what I've been given here now is a little dialog box with a username and password. And this is no different than the username and password that we all use all the time when we try to connect VPN to work. So I'm just going to type in my username. So Jake Theobald there. And now we all have a 4-digit code that's sort of our own secret code that we're supposed to use ahead of the digits that are here on the dongle. I'm going to take the iPad briefly off screen. I'm going to put in my 4 digits. So first I'll go into the password field. So I have my 4 digits in there, and now what I need to do is look at the dongle and see what numbers are on that. So I can see it's 668954 in my case. So 668954. And now I'll hit the sign in button, and ideally what should happen now is the Junos Pulse application should attempt to connect me to work. And it looks like it's been successful. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press the home button here on the app, or on the iPad I mean. So I'll click home, and now I'm out like in the general iPad area. And what I want to do, I'm just checking here, I think I already had Safari launched, and what I want to do is, in order to initiate the whole process of installing the app, I want to be sure that Safari isn't launched. So I'll hit the home button here again, and now if you hit the home button twice, you'll see the bottom of the screen fills up. These are all the open applications that I have right now on my iPad, and most of them it's no big deal, but what I don't want open is Safari there. So what I'm going to do to close that application is I'm going to put my finger on it for a second, and now you'll notice all of a sudden a bunch of minus little icons have shown up in the upper left hand portion of each of these icons. And what this has done is it's shifted the iPad into a mode where I can actually kill tasks. And so what I want to do is kill that Safari task. So I'll hit the minus key there, and now Safari's been closed down, and that was really all I needed to do. So in order to shift back to the regular iPad mode, all I have to do is hit this home button once, twice I guess, and now I'm back in the regular mode to use the iPad. Now another thing that I want to do in order to make sure that everything's clean for this installation is I'm going to go over to the control panels. You can see I have a lot of apps on my iPad. And when I go down through the control panel area, there's a Safari setting. I'm clicking on Safari now, and these are like the general settings now for Safari. The two settings I'm interested in are clear history and clear cookies and data. I'm just going to do that as well. And all I'm doing is just making sure that nothing that is in the browser cache of the Safari browser could possibly affect this installation process. So now I've pretty much cleaned up everything that I'm concerned about, and I'm ready to start to install the app. So in order to do that, again, I'll hit this home key twice, I guess. Oops, maybe one time too many there. I've fallen back out now in the general way to use the iPad, the general mode. And what I'm going to do is launch Safari. And once Safari loads its initial web address, if it's going to do that, it looks like it's not going to. What I want to do is I want to put in a special address that I want to go to now. Now, since I'm on the corporate internet, I can put this address in. So I'm going to go into the address bar, and I'm going to type McGraw-Hill.com. And I'll go there, and I think you're going to all recognize this page as sort of the corporate internet site that's used for all higher education sales reps. And what I'm going to do is scroll down here a bit, and you'll see here there's an iPad app section. I'm going to click that. And once I select iPad apps, now I'm on a page here that has like the selections that I can pick for loading the APR app onto my iPad. And the selection I want to make for purposes of keeping it as brief as possible, I'm going to take the top one, which is skeletal and muscular module only. I'll click that, and then what you'll see here is there's a little dialog that popped up that is essentially asking me if it's okay to install APR Enterprise. I'll click the install button in that dialog, and now the iPad has spun off and it's getting ready to start downloading that app onto my iPad. And what's going to happen, and you might not be able to see it here, but there's like a darkened out version of the APR app icon. The little guy's profile is there, and there's actually a progress bar across the bottom of the icon. Now, right now, the progress bar is completely black because nothing's happened, but data is starting to download, and very, very slowly, the progress bar will start to fill in with a light blue bar. And what you need to do now is just sort of let your iPad go. If you set it down, let it download the app, eventually the screen will go black on the iPad. That's not really a big deal. You just leave it go and the iPad will continue through the installation process. When it's finished, the icon here on the iPad will just appear full, and it won't say waiting anymore. It'll say something like APR on it, so it's complete. But basically, you probably want to leave your iPad alone for maybe like an hour or so, and that should be it. So that's pretty much all the tips that you're going to need, and I think pretty much as long as you get that dialog that says it's about to install the app, you're going to be just fine. It's just sort of a waiting game at this point. So thanks a lot for your time, and I hope you're all successful in getting this app installed.